But there's foam basically shaped like that, which goes between, because this is hollow, and just keeps your chute in there. These, I really recommend you just getting some rings, just so your kite chutes go through easy. Because if you don't have, so I think the early ones just had bowline. Yeah, so your mast organiser. If for any reason you need to get under there, it's really easy to take out. Just these 4 screws, you can whip them out and then the whole pod will come out. So if you need to get in there, that's really easy to do. And again, there's some blocks down there which are all integral to the kite work. If your hoists and drops, you're finding they're really stiff, it may be worth having a look, because Sam and myself have gone through quite a few of these blocks for one reason or another, and just fully churned it up, and it makes it impossible to hoist and drop your spinnaker quickly.
Can the kicker go either side of the spinnaker hanging on the deck?
Will naturally sit because it goes forward to on the elastic and round a block and back down to this side. You need to make sure when you put your mast in that the kicker is completely to one side of the mast. It's really easy to stick your mast in and then realise you've got no travel on your kicker, but that'll just be because it's coming forwards and back, so when you try and let it off, it just stops against the mast rather than coming completely back. This one's fine. So a good way of making sure that it happens is before you put your mast in, if you pull your kicker backwards, and then you can just tie a half hitch or something here, and that holds everything, so you can just slot it in, and then when you release, normally you'll see the kicker come off them. The one thing that does change is, depending on the wind strength, you can adjust these loops so you can get more kicker on. So to do that, it's just spliced here, so you can just pull through and make this a shorter distance, so then you can get more kicker on. And a day like today, I would be having pretty much as much kicker as I could get on. Which, to do properly, obviously I'm going to struggle to get that down there because this is right at the top. So what I'd do is, before my sail goes all the way to the top, I preload the kicker. So I get that on there. Get that as tight as I can. Same on this side. And it really does make a massive difference to the amount of kicker you can get on. Now you'll notice the mast really bends now. So obviously that's all the kicker is, as much as I can eat. And you'll notice the mast is really bent compared to how it was before. Down with this, and then when it was all the way down, you can pull some slack through. And I just did like a half hitch around there just to make sure that it's not going to come up, because the last thing you want is when you're bearing away for it to pop up, or when you come up to go down the wave and come up, and then you're all over the shop.
Do you ever rake it at all? No,
I don't. I've never raked mine.
Reaching, I mean, you have to, if you're on a reaching.
If you're not using the spinnaker, yes.
You have to.
Yeah.
So you won't
It's just like any other. You might as well think of it as, if you're not using the spinnaker, it's just the same as sailing a laser. Outhaul, I've got mine loosely set, so it's probably the least important control. But I've got mine loosely set, so I've got a knot of at this point, so where it's out the furthest I'd ever want it to be, I can just bang this off and it goes to the knot, and then just wang it on if I can remember. To be honest, if it's windy, I don't really bother with it. If it's light, I don't really change it too much. I think there's more important things to be doing.
What's the biggest gap you have right here?
Probably something like that. Yeah, there's always a bit of a crease, and it's hard because it gets affected by this. If you let it off too much, it really wears against your sail.
I think that's what I've been doing wrong, 'cause it's got a lot of wear now.
Yeah.
So I've had it quite deep.
Yeah, it will wear a bit, but anyway, so I always generally have a crease in it. So yeah, I just let it off a little bit, but I think the kick is important, and especially in those lines, you sail along, and if you get a gust, the top of the leech will open up like you see there. There's loads of movement, so I want to kind of maintain the same leech profile. So if I'm having to move, I need to remember to do something with my kicker or my main sheet. Main sheet's the easier one, because obviously if you pull this on, it's going to bend the mast again and tighten the leech. So if I ease it right off, that's pretty open when it gusts it. Close that off, just and then tug. I never ever sail block to block. It just flattens the main too much. I've seen like that. Yeah, I guess it varies between. That's probably the tightest I've go ever, really. I do the rest. I do the rest on kicker. I never brought it on to try and pinch. It works.
That's as far as I ever come.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few guys that do have it on and pinch, and at times they'll just be going so much, they'll be going really high and probably the same speed, but then something will change, the wind will change slightly and they'll be stalling out and dog slow. So Sam and Alex like to hammer it on, but I kind of sail a lot freer than them generally. So I guess that takes me into sailing loads, which upwind in this is really tricky, especially if you start getting some shot like I had a wave. It was really easy to bury the nose and park up, wasn't it? Especially on some of the first days. So those windy days and like it is today, I won't have this barred on too tight because I want a bit of power in the bottom, because as we've seen, when I put this on, the top goes really flat really quickly. So I'll tend to use a lot of kicker, and then if it's choppy, I move back. Generally upwind I don't get in the back toe straps. I don't find myself in them very often, but I will be sort of hiking with my foot here, leaning backwards, especially with my shoulders, because then when a wave comes, I lean back and try and lift that bow up. So I'll sail quite free to keep the pace on and keep trucking, and just really working hard about getting the weight back up the weight, because there's very little buoyancy in the back. So as soon as you start hitting waves, you really do stop, and once you've done that, it's a bit of a disaster getting back up to full speed. It takes a while. So especially when it's windy, just sail free. Then downwind, so coming into the windward mast, I try to set myself up nice and early. Ease the majority of my controls. So sailing on, I stump the cunning arm, and then I wouldn't let the kicker all the way on necessarily. Get my weight back, keep the boat flat, and as once I've borne away, I just do a double hand underneath the boat and release it, which will generally ping it off as much as you need. It will with the Cunningham. You may need to do another one on the kicker. and then straight into the hoist. Sailing downwind, you can sail massive angles in terms of when you soak, you're really, really low, and in sort of those marginal conditions and light winds, I tend to soak quite a lot, so I'll be sat really far forwards, keeping my weight forwards, and soaking, really concentrated on the kite and looking at people around me to make sure my relatives are good. I'm not going too low and really slow and everyone's just going to sail over me. It is a really fine game and you're constantly changing from going really low and trying to get deep to, oh actually I need a bit of speed, and it's one of those things that really changes. And then as soon as you start planing, I'm moving back in the boat. A lot of the time, because I'm quite tall, again, I can hide from this front strap and get my weight quite far back. If there are big waves and it's really windy, I will get both feet into the back toe straps. But the bow seems to move quite a lot, and then I just kind of slide forward again. And as soon as you can start planing, it's really worth heating it up a little bit to get that plane on. And as soon as you're on the plane, starting to try and go low again, but stay on the plane. So you need to keep the plane, heading up again, keep it moving, and then right, take this a bit lower. So it's a really fine balancing act. So then I decide I'm going to jibe. I'll be flying the sheet from here, and this one generally won't have much slack in it. I'll keep this really close to my bum, maybe even sit on it, just while I'm getting ready, and then I bear away, and as I'm bearing away, I take this sheet, and you can fly the spinnaker with the windward sheet, and it's still down to leeward. It hooks a bit, but while you're sort of practicing and until you can get it really fluid and quickly, I think it's a good way to do it, because then you just take the spinnaker from here, steer through, and as you move across, when you're on the new side, the kite's pretty much in and filling, if you just do that.
You don't sail on the ship,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, just I think it's really important, especially with the 10.2, that you have a strop. Mine basically goes like this cord does, so around through this eyelet, and then down with a plastic rig onto here. I guess probably about that long. Yeah, I don't know. You'll find different lengths, and I guess it's something you just need to play with. Yeah. So my jibe routine is same along, right? I'm thinking of a jibe. So I get the slack near my leg. Right, quick look around. Okay, I'm going for it. Bearing away, and as I bear away, I take the sheet from here. So I just go right, bearing away, pretty much onto a run. And with this hand, I reach for my jibing strop and give it a tug. And as soon as I pull on that, and the boom starts coming across, as soon as the boom starts moving, I'm going as quick as I can to get on the new side, especially if it's windy like that. Because the things that tip you in are the boom not coming across and it coming across late and smashing across, and then you just get knocked over, or the boom coming across early and you not getting across. So with the jibing strop, you've got really positive pull, and once you pull, I know that boom's coming. You give it a good hard pull, so that's pulled, I'm across, and once I'm on the new side, steer behind your backstay, keep the boat nice and low on a run, and then sort yourself out and just be like, right, I've made it through, time to go, and then give the stick a push and get back to trying to get the plane. In this sort of wind, so when it's breezy, obviously you lose a lot from swimming.